Sunday evening, and I know that you are excited and happy. You know why? Just because you're here and you're able to help us get the message out there about things that we talk about on the show, and you're excited because you're finally breaking free of things that you need to be free of. You can love one another, you can rip off every label, you can show your bold and unique attitude, and you can just really live a life that God created you to live. I'm just so excited that you've joining us. I am Katrina Lokko, and you guys, most of you know who I am, and we're here at Women of Abundant Wealth, reestablishing the destinies that have been redirected. And I want to tell you that the lives that have been affected by this show has been just so phenomenal. We get your emails, we get your text messages, you know, you're engaged with us on social media, and we're loving it. We want you to understand that we're real here. There's no mistakes in your life, and there's no mistake that you are watching this show today. The guests that I bring on here are people that have been through either tragedies or they have something to teach. They have something to give to you and share to you. And if it's not my gift, I always try to find people that it is their gift so I can put them before you. I have an awesome young woman with me today, and she has got so much information, so much experience, and we're just going to glean from that today. So I want you to help me welcome Miss Catherine Cates of Around Town Kids. Hi, Catherine. How are you?
Thank you, Katrina, for having me here today. I really appreciate that.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. I asked you on the show. I just know you have a story, and I've heard you speak before, and I've watched you. We've been in groups before together, and I've watched you carry yourself in such a way that has just touched my heart.
Oh, well, thank you.
Such a way, and not that many people can carry themselves in such a way, and you know that what you do, you put everything into what you do. And I want our audience to understand, first of all, who Catherine Cates is, second of all, what is Around Town Kids, and then we'll go on and talk about the new ventures that you're gonna break into here. So let's talk about Catherine Cates. Who is Catherine Cates?
Wow, that was a beautiful introduction. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, where do I begin? Well, I always start in college. When I was younger, I knew I wanted to help people. And I'm not as young as you may think. And so back then, you know, helping professions were a lot more limited than they are today. So helping equaled doctor. I wanted to be a doctor. So here I am, 18, going to college, and you have to decide your whole life at 18, right? Which is kind of hard to do.
I know.
And so I thought, okay, I'll be a doctor because I want to help people. And I was pre-med in college, worked in hospitals while I was there to kind of get the lay of the land. And then I decided, you know, I'm not so sure I really like this whole doctor thing. I still want to help people, but I'm not sure this is the route for me. So some salespeople had called on me, and they said, you know, why don't you be in sales? You could do it. And I'm like, never thought about it. Okay, because what do you do when you have a pre-med degree and you don't go to medical school? Got to do something, right? Yeah. So I went on to sales, and I did really well in the beginning, got lots of awards and stuff. But then after a few years, I realized, you know, it's not doing anything for my heart to sell widgets to impersonal companies, you know. So what can I do? So then I fast forward a few more years, got pregnant, had my son, and I decided I wanted to stay home for a while. And then, no offense to the stay-at-home moms, but it just wasn't for me because I was used to the fast-paced corporate world. And that's when I got the idea to start Around Town Kids, which is a website. Parents can go and get free information, find out things to do with their children. And my son was my inspiration for that. Been doing that for 12 years.
So what type of information that you have up there, and how can they truly benefit other than going to get the free information? So go ahead and share that part with us.
Sure. There's an event calendar, so people can find out everything that's going on every day, places you can take your kids. Even if you don't have kids, there's stuff on there you could do. And there's information about where to have a birthday party, children's doctors, child care options, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you're a parent, especially if you're new to the area, you don't know what to do, just go to Around Town Kids and it'll give you the scoop.
Okay, so you're connecting the people with the business owner and just help building the communities.
Thank you. That was a nice way to say that.
So when you started Around Town Kids, were you nervous? Was you excited? Did you get your kids involved? How did that work for you?
Well, my son was only a year and a half, so he wasn't really involved. He was my inspiration. Surprisingly, I was not nervous because I believed in it. I believed in the concept. I had prayed a lot to be inspired because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted my own business, but I didn't know what the business would be. So I honestly prayed a lot and got the answer, thank you, and was inspired to start the business. And so because of that, I wasn't scared. I didn't have a business degree. As I said, I was pre-med, never took a business course, but I don't know, I just wasn't worried. You know, God was on my side, and 12 years later, I'm still going strong.
Wow, and that's an accomplishment. That is truly an accomplishment that women can look up to. I mean, you've been in it for 12 years, you've been successful at it, and you've remained just, every time I see you, you have this calmness and this peaceness about you, and I'm like, oh, that is nothing but God.
Thank you.
So you also have a book, and tell us about that.
Yes, 2 years ago, I came out with a book. It's called Kidding Around Town, so it's kind of like Around Town Kids, but the words are inverted, just to confuse people. No, not intentionally, but what it's about is taking your kids out places and finding things to do with them, which you can find on my website, but I take it an extra step, and I give you all these educational things you can do with your children when you get to that specific location. Okay. So, because a lot of parents, teaching their kids doesn't come naturally, and so having just a few little questions and prompters and activities is really helpful for some parents to get started.
And it does help, especially a new mom, or you know, a single mom or a busy mom, because I'm sure you have tips for the busy moms and stuff that they can do after they get off work, or if they have to work 10 days and then maybe 1 day off. So I'm sure that there's stuff in that book for that.
Right.
Okay. Do you give parenting tips on your site and in the book as well?
Not in the book. Okay. The book is more educationally focused, but on the website, on our blog, absolutely. We have a lot of parenting tips.
Okay, well, I'm excited. Do you have any events coming up for Around Town Kids or for Catherine Cates that you want to share with the audience?
I don't personally have any events coming up, but fall will be here before you know it, and that's when like the floodgates open and all the fun fall stuff starts happening. Right now we're kind of in a lull. People are finishing up summer, and then school's going to start in a few weeks, and then nobody really does much of anything.
Yes.
So back October, it'll be happening.
We're going to switch gears because we're going to talk about the new thing, the current thing. But I did want to touch bases with the Around Town Kids and your book.
Yeah,
and you guys can go purchase her book. The information is on the screen, so you can go and purchase the book. Go and do they sign up or anything like that? You can tell them.
There is a newsletter they can sign up that we send out every week if you just want to stay posted on the website. If not, you can just go to the website anytime and get the free information.
And I encourage you to do that. Grandmothers do that because, you know, we have a lot of grandmothers raising, you know, children. And even if they're not raising them, they just may want to find something to do with them.
Right. Yes. They take them out on the weekends.
Yes. So what's new with you? You've branched over into coaching. Share with us what area of coaching have you branched out into?
Well, like I said, I've been doing the business for 12 years, and I felt like I was helping people more than I was when I was in sales, because like I said, that was kind of impersonal, selling widgets to big companies, right? Now I'm helping moms. I'm on the street. I'm talking to moms, things like that. But after 12 years of doing it, my son is now a teenager. I've kind of, you know, outgrown some of those things, and I'm like, you know, I still want to help people, but now I want to help on a deeper level. So that's when last year I decided to become a life coach. So I specialize in the life part, not in the business part. I can do business stuff, but that's not fun for me. No. I rather help people with their head game. Yeah. Because it's what goes on in our head is what helps us be successful or not. And that's where my passion is at.
Well, let's go a little bit deeper with that.
Sure.
What is it that made you say, and we know because you've been in business for 12 years, but what is it that made you say, I want other women to have or to be who they were called to be or walk in that? What was that one thing, or what is that one thing that you want to see most of all from this coaching business?
I want women to understand they need to believe in themselves, number one, over anything else. You know, especially if you're getting into your own business, it's great to believe in your product or your service, but that does no good if you don't believe in you. You have to believe in you to do anything in life, especially if you're going to run your own business. Yeah. That's the main message I want to get out to women because, you know, unfortunately, so many of us are not given that message when we're kids. I know I wasn't. I didn't have the best childhood. My parents didn't instill that in me. So I had to pull myself up by the bootstraps and learn it. Yeah, you know,
because we are the product and the service, really.
Yes.
Whether we want to believe it or not, we are our own product and our service.
That's right.
So
You're always selling you.
yeah. So what can one expect when say if I was to call you, Catherine, let me take your course, or let's do a one-on-one. How does that all work? When I call you up and tell you, I think I could use a life coach.
Right.
How would that work?
Well, I always give a free call. So anybody that's interested in that, I'm always happy to do that and just kind of walk you through the process and try and determine, what is it you want to achieve in life. It could be anything. It could be a new relationship, a new job, you want to buy a new house, whatever. That's where I'm happy to help people. I just kind of walk them through a process to understand what's going on in here. Because what goes on in here is going to affect whether you get that new job, new relationship, whatever.
So how do you help them? Say, let's just use new house, because it's a different type. People don't think, well, I need a coach to buy a new house. So what would you do? What are some of the strategic things that you would do, or techniques that you would do when coaching someone even into buying a house? Explain that a little bit.
Sure. Well, when you buy a house, it involves money, right?
Yes.
And money is the biggest thing that we all struggle with, because that is a total head game.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't believe that we're worthy of having money, or we don't think
Yes.
we can get money, or we're given all these messages that run through tapes in our head when we're kids. Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. All these things our parents
Yes.
tell us. And then all of a sudden we're an adult and we want this new house, and we go, I really want this house, but what's after the but? But I can't afford it, but I'll never get there. But my mom said I'll always be broke. Whatever the messaging is, it's been trapped in your head for so many years.
Yeah.
That's what I like to help people get to help them understand that let's tackle that, and then we can help you get the new house. I mean, I'm not a mortgage lender or anything like that, so I can always help people with, refine people to help them with the nitty-gritty details. But I just want to get you to the point where you even believe that you can get that new house. Believe you can get your dream.
Okay, wow. Now let's move over to the relationship side. You said you help them with relationship. That's marital relationship and also friendships.
Sure.
So what are some of the techniques or some of the things that if I come to you and say, well, Catherine, I'm very isolated and I have a problem with making friends. How would that work? Is that something that you tackle, or is it a different type of coaching?
No, I can still work with that. And again, it kind of goes back to the same thing. What are you thinking? Why do you believe that you're no good with people? Why do you believe you can't make friends? What's going on in there? Who told you that when you were a kid? Or what happened in your life to make you think that? Now, I understand some people truly are more introverts and they are a little bit more shy, and that's okay, but that doesn't mean you have to believe that I can't make friends. Because if you believe you can't make friends, guess what's going to happen? You can't.
Yeah.
So we have to get you to the point of examining what your thoughts and beliefs are to help you understand that you're capable, you're friendly, people like you, you can get out there and make friends.
Wow, that's good. What do you believe that, Catherine Cates, what do you believe your message to the world is? What is God showing you to get out to the world? Or maybe not the world, maybe just a certain sector of people,
Right.
because we're not all called to go to the world. We have our little sectors.
Sure.
But what is that message? What is that one thing that just burns you with passion, and you know that it's a God thing, and that's the message that you're sticking to, and you want others to get it?
I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but it's belief in yourself. Believe that you deserve it. Believe that you're worthy of anything that you want in life.
That is your message.
That's my message. Because I think that's key to getting anything you want, and happiness.
Yes, it is.
You have to
because
believe
if
in
you
yourself.
don't believe in yourself, of course you're not going to believe in others. And you pass that on, because things are generational. We pass that on to our kids, and you see it every day. If you don't believe in yourself, then you're going to produce kids like that, then they'll produce kids, and then friends, and then you'll end up connecting with people that believe the same way you do.
Absolutely.
And then everybody's stuck.
Yep.
Everybody's stuck, and it's almost like there's no way out. And when people like that come to you, how does that make you feel? I know you have got to be like crying, because you see the problem and you know the solution, but they can't see the solution. And maybe can't even see that there is a problem. So how do you deal with even that if somebody don't even know that there's a problem? They just know they need your help, but they don't know it's a problem.
Right.
How do you even deal with that? Do you break it to them easy, like, well, I see the problem? And do they accept that?
It's easier if we can go back again and tackle their beliefs and help them understand, what is going on here and why do you think this is happening? Do you see what all this, debris is that you're leaving behind you, that things in your life that aren't working out? And these are the things that we need to look at and then help them develop an awareness level, because awareness level, as you know, is key to anything, making a change in life. And just getting their awareness level up so they can see how the cause and effect is. Well, if I think or do this, this is what happens. Oh my gosh, if I think or do positive stuff, I get better results.
Yeah.
So first we got to develop that level of awareness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Without using names, can you tell us some testimonies or some incidents that you've had where people have really said, oh my God, this is the best decision that I've made, Catherine, just to come and talk with you? And what was the time frame? Because I know the time frame will probably be different with each individual depending on how they're willing to deal with it. But do you have some testimonies, without using names, but some circumstances, how it was just really hard for the person, but they really broke free, and what was the technique that you used for them?
I think one lady I know for sure, it was just a brief call, actually.
Oh, wow.
And she was going through a hard time. The boyfriend was having some medical issues, and she works in a MLM type of situation. So, she doesn't have a corporate job with a steady paycheck, or she doesn't own her own business per se. And, it's the type of business where you build a team and network referrals and so forth. And that was kind of slow right now, and her boyfriend was the primary breadwinner, and he couldn't work because of his health challenge, and so she was kind of in a state of panic about, what do I do now? I'm going to be broke, and catastrophizing is a common thing that we do when we're in a negative situation. So I just helped her, first of all, identify, you're thinking the worst, you're catastrophizing here. Let's bring it down a few notches. We're not in the future yet. You haven't lost your house or, anything like that. We're here today, right now. And what can you do today, right now, to help you in this situation? And so she said, well, I'm thinking about going back and, maybe taking this little part-time job and this and that. And I asked her, I said, do you have enough savings for 2 weeks that you can just go for 2 weeks right now? And she goes, oh yeah, I'm good. I go, okay, well then let's just say for the next 2 weeks, I'm not going to worry about this stuff. I'm not going to make any major decisions, because she was considering going back and getting a full-time job and all that kind of stuff. Because I have enough money for 2 weeks. Let's see how my boyfriend's health challenge pans out, because they were going to get an answer before too long. And let's not panic. And if in 2 weeks you still don't have the answer about your boyfriend's health challenge, can you go another 2 weeks? Do you have 2 weeks more to save? And she goes, yeah, I do. I said, well, then let's give it a month. And don't make any major decisions in a month about going back to get a full-time job that you don't really want.
Yeah.
And shifting all these things. Let's just, take on that little part-time thing that you're comfortable with. Keep doing what you're doing. Support your boyfriend, because she was concerned too, if she goes full-time, she can't take him to and from the doctor and things like that. That were important considerations. So I said, if you have enough money for the next 2 weeks and 2 more weeks, go with that. And she said, oh my gosh, that is the best advice I've gotten in years. And it just put me so at peace, just like that.
Wow.
Just like
so
that.
You didn't really have to do extensive trainings with her or sessions with her. You just got it.
In that situation, yes.
So what is the situation that had been long and drawn out? Has there been any that has been like long and drawn out and took maybe a few months, or somebody just all of a sudden, well, first they were like, oh, I can't do this, but all of a sudden the light bulb come on. Do you have you had that moment?
Yes, I've had a few people like that, and it is more of a process, as you said, and it's getting them to first a level of awareness to see that they're thinking themselves into some negative situations, and how we can think ourselves out of that negative situation and believe in ourselves. And then they end up getting the job, or they meet the boyfriend. And then they see how it works.
Oh, wow. Why do you think it's important? And I tell people this all the time. When I hear somebody was self-made, I'm like, no, I just don't believe in that. They can believe in that or whatever. It always takes other people to help you in some kind of way. You needed somebody.
Yes.
Even if you had to go into somebody's office and ask them a question or fill out a form or paperwork and they had to help you, somebody helped you get to where you're going.
Right.
But what do you say to people that say, well, I really don't need the help. I don't see where this would benefit me. Why is it important that we seek someone like you? Why is that important?
Well, it's always good to have a support system. Always good. I mean, in my case, when I started my own business, like you were mentioning, my husband was my support system. You know, I thank him for that. He was my best friend, you know. If I ever had any doubts, I could, you know, talk it over with him. If I ever had a bad day, he was always there to help pick me up. You know, we just always need somebody in our life that's going to help us with that.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes people don't have a supportive spouse or a mother or a brother or somebody that can help them or a good friend, and so a coach can come in handy. Plus, a coach does more than just listen anyway. You know, whereas our family, they're kind of limited because they listen to us and they love us, but they don't always have all the answers, right?
Or they don't even want to touch it because you may get mad at
that
them.
too. That too. That's a very good point.
Like, I'm not going to tell her that, you know,
Yeah.
or